Hey everybody, welcome to Pulse. Again, we did it again. I don't know how we keep doing this. We have our first golden ticket winner for Kill Tony. He's a traveling comedian, super funny.
Super funny.
Yeah, just look at all his content. He always switches it up, which is like refreshing because a lot of comics use the same routines all the time. No, this guy is different.
It's fire, man.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes. So today we have Martin Phillips.
What's up, guys? What's going on? Cool.
We're super excited to have you,
man.
man. Yeah, I've been a fan for quite some time, for many years. Yeah, because I mean, there's certain crushers that come on Kill Tony.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then to get that kind of prestigious accolade, a golden ticket winner.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you were what, in Washington, or where were you?
Yeah, I was, I'm from lived in D.C., from that area. So, yeah, they used to go on tour. It's actually a funny story. Actually, I wasn't going to go to the show. I had to pay my friend back, and I was like, he didn't want money. He was like, just Kill Tony's coming, just give me a ticket. Because he did something for me, and I was like, I'll pay you back, dude. He was like, just buy me a Kill Tony ticket. And I literally bought the last ticket. Like, literally, because I was going to go with him, but I only had one ticket left. So I was like, okay, dude, I got you the ticket. But then they added a second show, and he was like, oh, dude, I'm just going to go to the second show with my friend. You can have the ticket. I was like, okay, fuck it, I'll just go to Kill Tony. And they picked my name last on the show, on the first show. Almost did that. It was like, if you watch that video, that show, it was just really a perfect moment because they're like, okay, let's pick one more name. And it happened to be mine. Also, I was like the only guy from DC who got up. So it was good. It was like a good moment of representing that scene, and again, it almost didn't happen. It was a great set, everything, it was like serendipity. It was, just worked out. It was perfect.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a bad set from you. I've never seen a bad set.
I didn't really, I tried to really prepare for it. So it was like half a minute and do these jokes. And the last line, I was just on this last episode that dropped, this last Monday.
Which was dope.
Yeah.
It was so good. I saw it.
And that one I was also nervous about, because usually when they do the interview, I gotta have something prepared what I want to talk about, but I didn't have anything.
So that was just off the cuff.
Literally, that's why I'm really happy about it, because that interview was just natural. I was like, oh, I'm so happy that went well, because I didn't know what to talk about or what was gonna happen. So that also worked perfectly.
So how did you get into, were you doing comedy before you did Kill Tony? Because you blew up. You blew up after Kill Tony immediately.
Definitely.
I've been doing it since college. It's been a lot of years, and I just happened to go, and it just happened to pick my name. So it wasn't like something I was gonna try out. I was already.
Oh, you were
I was already doing it. So yeah.
So what got you into comedy then?
Yeah, that's a good.
I don't know. I just always thought it was funny, so I just started to do it. Yeah.
Who were your influences?
I mean, there was a bunch, just watching TV as a kid, because, back in the day, Comedy Central would just literally show stand-up all the time.
Yeah.
So you always see those Comedy Central presents. I remember I watched my, last comic standing when I was, in middle school and high school.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of different performers and just watching TV as a kid, So there's a lot,
Did you go through the whole process of doing improv, and did you do battles or?
I always started with stand-up. At the college I went to, there was an improv team. A lot of those guys tried stand-up too, but usually they were better at improv. But I tried out for the improv team a couple of times. I never made it, but I tried. It's just different, because I was kind of nervous, like, oh, should I say something now? Like, is this my cue? And I think with stand-up, it's more like individual, where I think as improv, you gotta learn how to be funny as a unit. You gotta feel comfortable stepping up, and yeah.
I also wanted to ask you too. What made you want to decide to move? Right, you moved to Austin, right?
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I moved to Austin like this summer. I always wanted to move away from DC. I thought about it for a while. Then my lease was coming up, and I was like, I don't know. I've had this California thing for a while, like right before the pandemic hit. That's where I got it, and I don't know. It just seems like people want what I have. Like, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. If people were like, oh shit. So I was like, well, if I'm going to move somewhere, I guess try to just use what I have, see what happens, see if I can get a little bit more exposure, get a bigger following, just try it out. Because I still like DC. I wouldn't mind going back, but just trying it out, because I have the connection. Just see what happens, see if they can, elevate me a little bit. So
Yeah, it's really cool to have you here in Texas because honestly, I don't think I would have been able to see you, if you were in Washington or something.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or Cali,
Yeah, I don't think I wasn't, I wasn't going out here to perform as much. San Antonio, you guys aren't that far. I was able to go, open it for Hans. I just hosted for Martin. So yeah, I've been down here a couple of times.
But what was the biggest difference for you from Washington D.C. to Texas? Like, I know it's a little bit. Did you have a good old culture shock with anything here?
It's I don't know about. The weather's different. The weather's way different. The highway system is different. I don't think they knew what they were doing when they built the interstate here. It's like sometimes in Texas, if you make a wrong turn, you literally have to like a square around. It's like literally it's so easy way to go back. You just like circle around. Yeah, it's like stuff like that. I mean. Yeah, it's different, but I wouldn't say I was like, whoa, what is,
Do you have like an expectation of like cowboy hats? And
That's what people think. I'm sure back home, people are like, oh, this guy, just full, cowboys. And
that whole everything bigger in Texas. Nothing's bigger here. It's all the same.
except the people.
Diabetes.
yeah, that's true. But, I don't know. I haven't seen anything.
Well, Austin's the more healthier city than everyone else.
How do you like Austin compared to here? Because it's kind of a smaller city, but it's just so booming.
Yeah, I mean, it seems similar. I haven't stayed here too long, but it seems like the San Antonio seems smaller, right? Yeah.
Smaller field.
Yeah, I guess I think a lot more people live, I guess, in Austin. I think it's just be a lot more traffic around.
But you performed with Hans. How was that, man? Because that Hans himself was also on Kill Tony, and then he crushed it as well. So getting that opportunity with Hans.
He's a really nice guy. He just asked me if I wanted, to go to San Antonio, and I was like, I got nothing to do this weekend, so sure, I'm down. And he was cool. He's a nice guy. He's really,
Hey, is that whole competition with him really happening at Kill Tony?
I think so. Yeah,
that's a real thing. I thought it was a gimmick.
For what I know, on New Year's Eve, him and Rick are gonna. I think that is real. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if Rick's still. I don't know. I think he may have been in town. I don't know. He's probably not in town, but I mean, that guy Rick. Rick's huge balls, dude. This guy, he's going on the show. He was like, "Hey, Tony, you gonna pay me?" It's like, "Whoa, dude!" Like, he's trying to challenge Hans. So it's like, man, this guy doesn't give a fuck, dude. Like, I'm on the show. I'm just like, hey, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers. I'm just happy to be here. Thanks for letting me on. But Rick's like, hey, he's like making movies, trying to make movies and stuff. I mean, good for him for having that confidence. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that is gonna happen at the New Year's Eve show. So we'll see.
They sold out the HEB
Yeah,
stadium.
There's still 2 shows. I know they added a second show, right? I think they did, right? I'm thinking they did. So far I'm not on that show, so I don't know. But it is cool to get to sell out the center.
Well, what's it like to be on par with cats like David Lucas, William Montgomery, Hans Kim? I mean, you're up there.
I consider myself on par. I'm on the show, and they're there too, and yeah, I just do my thing and just hang out. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate people, I guess I just don't think of it that way. I just go and do it, and it goes well. And I'm like, cool, nice. So yeah, and everyone's really nice. So I'm sure, they respect me too. So yeah, as long as everyone's cool,
You're always the quote unquote stone cold assassin from Hinchcliffe.
and I'm just happy it goes well because I'm always trying to, figure it out and make sure it goes well. So it's been good so far. So I didn't worry about fucking up having a bad appearance and then, it's over. It's like,
Oh shit! So that's still in the back of your head, like maybe.
Still nervous about that.
I mean, every time you perform, you're like, hopefully this is a good set, but this is like a bigger scale. So, just planning it out. And for the last interview, it seems like I am comfortable on there now, so I can just flow. Because that interview, I didn't really know what we were going to do, and it went really good. So now I kind of, have more, a little more, I can chill out a little bit and just feel better about it.
I mean, yeah, man, you definitely killed when I saw you on there, and then I was like, yo, who's this guy? And that's where Albert's like, he's doing all this. And I went through and just started watching a lot of your sets. Because even when I was doing the Hans Kim, you were stopping the line like in a second because we had you and then we had Hans Kim waiting for his phone. Hans Kim's kind of just waiting and everyone was just talking to you and it was just like obviously you killed it and everyone was just loving it, man. So seeing that recognition from the fans, even though you're not the headliner, is that something that's just like...
I will say, at San Antonio, all the fans were pretty cool. They definitely were, I definitely felt good, good vibe from fans. And so it was a good feeling that, I got this whole band of whole following coming up. So, it's, and being on the show again, it seems like, it's building. So a lot of exposure that's good. So I can be able to hop on some shows, get to do other clubs and whatnot.
Oh yeah, we would definitely love seeing you back at LOL, man.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll be able to get on another show and see what happens.
How far do you want to progress? Like, because I know there's some people that want to cap out. You know what I mean? As comedians, they don't want to get too big. I see you as having the capability to do so.
Yeah, I just don't want to be able to just. I saw the day job. So the main goal is to not have a day job. So let me get there first. And I guess that's a lot of. If I'm able to get on more clubs and tour more, make appearances other places, I think I'd be able just to make a living, so I don't have to have a 9 to 5 or anything, just do comedy. So that's the main goal. Let's get there first. And then if it blows up even bigger, cool. I'm cool with that.
You're fine. Like if it takes me to stadiums, I'll do it.
Yeah, I don't really have a yeah. I mean, I've performed in theaters and never quite performed in a stadium. I've seen specials like that. It does seem it's like watching like Bill Burr at Red Rocks. I'm just like, it just seems weird. I don't know how he does it or anybody does it. It's like I couldn't connect with. I don't think I could. It's a different feeling performing in a huge ass stadium. Like, I don't know. Just seems like it's the rhythm. I would say you're just like because it's so big. It's like you must just be going, because it's hard to really grasp I think, again, I've never done it, but it just seems like this is like, they play football games here.
And it's crazy to think now, like, the tour that really creeped me, or not creeped me out, but tripped me out was that the Bert Kreischer tour.
Yeah, Bert does that shit all the time. This guy, Bert's.
6-day events, 5-day events, or something like that. Ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Sold out.
Yeah, I mean, if I get there, I get there. But again, I just think it's a different. Mine's a different game. That's like in a video game. It's like expert. That's the highest level. It's like, so I mean, I guess Tony's doing big arenas like that too. So yeah, it just seems intimidating and different. That I mean, a theater is theater is big, but like you really capture the laughs. But this is bigger than a theater. This is like 3 times a theater. This is.
I actually saw Bill Burr at the Aztec here in the theater, and man, those tickets were ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had a great time. It would be like a lifelong memory.
Oh yeah, sure thing. Yeah, I haven't actually seen him live yet, but I am a fan. And
Did you ever play at the Comedy Store?
I visited the Comedy Store. I've been there. I did not perform. Actually, I have a cool story about the Comedy Store. I did go there a few years ago. I had a friend who worked there. I don't know what he did, but anyway, I saw my show. I think it was like in the main room. That show ended. He was like, "Hey man, we got this other show going on. If you can stay." I think it was in the original room. So I go into the original room. I sit down in the back, and then my friend was like, "Hey man, do you have anywhere to go? Cause Dave just walked in." I was like, "No, I'm here, right?" So he leaves. As soon as he leaves, Dave Chappelle comes in, sits right next to me. Dave and I've never been like starstruck, but that was like I was like, I didn't know what to say. Like it's Dave Chappelle was just like strung out, just like leaning back in his chair, like right next to me. It was like, oh, what do I say? And then there was a person on stage. Like, they're kind of bombing, kind of like not doing well. And Dave's like talking to himself, like, oh, should I go up there? Like, shit on like this guy. He was like, oh man, should I do it? And they call his name, and he looks at me, and I just go, you gotta do what you gotta do. And then he walks up there. He doesn't shit on the person, but anyway, that was the time I met Dave Chappelle. That's my interaction with him. Yeah, that was crazy. Also, I met like Jeff Ross that night. I saw like that show where like Sebastian was on there, Whitney Cummings, Crystalia, but before everything. So yeah, this was before everything. So I don't think he goes out there anymore, but. Yeah, it was a good lineup, good show. I saw Eddie Pepitone, that was awesome. Big fan. But yeah, so Comedy Store is cool to go to, see a show. Don't know who you're gonna meet. Run into me. I can sit next to Dave Chappelle in the back. So.
And then you see like guys like Adam Ray, they frequent there. Santino goes, Bobby goes.
Yeah, it's like that room, and like it's in Mothership now, and like the cellar in New York, where it's like if you go there, like you will, like cross paths with like big names, you know. So and you know, I mean that doesn't always happen at every club.
Weren't you there with the Adam Ray one?
Yes, that was a couple years ago. That was when Kill 30 was at Anton's.
Yes.
Yeah, he was on there, and the other comic, I forgot her name. She was the host of the new soup. They brought back the soup, and she was like the host, and I don't think it lasted that long. But she has a big fall. I forgot her name, but yeah, those were the two guests, and yeah, that was a good time too.
So what do you do for a living?
I talked about it last Coach Radio, so if you guys want to check it out. But now, just like I did, substitute teaching, working in schools and whatnot. So
but that's so crazy, the different side of the prism. It's you go to do that, and then you're going to.
Have you gotten like recognized from any students?
No, thank goodness.
Luckily, no, not even like teachers or staff. Luckily, so. Not everyone's watching stuff, so yeah. I think one time though, I did post some stand-up video on TikTok, and there was like a comment like, "Hey, yo, this guy substituted my class," but no one's ever done that in person. I've just seen like comments sometimes, but yeah. But as for work, it's still a separate life. Like, no, it's like my Batman, you know. Like, no, it's not as cool as being a superhero, but you know, it's similar in that way. It's like no one has, because I'm a pretty quiet guy in general, so yeah, I don't think a lot of people at work would suspect this other side of what I do. At night, but yeah.
That's cool. Do you have like a preference when like people are asking like, oh, you want to substitute this grade?
I'm more into like high school's actually pretty chill. I know a lot of people might think it's scary, but like they don't really give a fuck, and I don't really give a fuck. So I'm just like, yeah, do whatever. Here's the worksheet, or a lot of times everything's online, so. Most of the time, they're just on their laptop or iPad, so it's pretty chill.
So it's quite different from,
back then.
Literally, I don't think I even need to be there at the time. Because it's literally just log in to the website and all the work's there. So that's usually, if the teacher wants you to have an easy day, he's like, just out there log in. Or, I guess sometimes there are still worksheets, but it's usually they don't leave you anything complicated.
Usually, back in the day, was either you just watched a video or catch-up day, like if you had to do homework.
We did that before, The worst is, if you're a substitute for, elementary school, dude, they got, a list of shit to do. I was like, I don't even work here, guy. They're make copies. I was like, I'm not making copies. You have to, dude, it's elementary school is, so much shit, because you have to, if they're, 7, you really got to engage them every other minute. And so, that's a bit more. And it sucks when you don't have a teacher's aide. Where it's just you and all these kids, everything else. God, please just listen. And you gotta read them a story, and it's man, this.
Do you have trouble a little bit more with elementary kids? They tend to more ask you questions versus the high school kids are whatever.
That's true. Elementary kids. No child thinks this. It's my actual voice. So, that happens sometimes. It's you used your real voice. And I'm like, so the move is the kids love this. I go, okay, I'll use my real voice. Hey kids, what's going on? And they love that bit, but then But then I had to switch back. They're like, no, use your real voice. And I was like, I'm sorry, kids. This is it. This is it. I have to have that high-pitched voice all day.
Yeah, you have that one joke that dude made me cry. And it was like just a little filler one. You said you had MD.
Oh, yeah, massive dick. Yeah, no, it's ND, 2 types. Yeah. The mustards fee, massive dick. Yeah, that was. That's like the first joke that's what I closed with, I think, on my first appearance. It was like my first go-to. Like, drop that in. And then, dude, the reaction was just like, uproar, and then, So, that's a staple, just bring that out. And
Where do you get the time to write if you're so busy? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm not the type of guy who just like, schedule is like, oh, this is my writing time. I'm at school, I'm doing stuff, but like, I'm just thinking of stuff, thinking. Like, you see something, and you're like, oh, that's weird, or you have an interaction, and it's just stuff where it's like, you just think about it, and it's kind of, it's just like in my head, like, oh, yeah, that could, I just doing it for so long, you just think in jokes, and stuff happens to you, and stuff you read, stuff you wait, you just kind of always kind of having that thought process. Yeah. It's like second nature. That's
a different way to think about it, like a different aspect. Like that's the way your brain works now. Yeah. You're doing it so long that's just how you function.
Different interactions. So you can be bored like on the drive here or still at work and stuff because again I'm not doing too much as a sub anyway because they're on their computers. I have to read a book, occupy myself some way. So, it just kind of works out the way I'm thinking about stuff. That's how I do it. I know a lot of people have everyone has a different process. So that's just me thinking about stuff, and I write down the thought, and then I'll type it up later, and then we'll try it out, and then see how it works.
Because we have a lot of the comics there do the open mic at the LOL, and they're like, we've been doing 3 hours of writing the night before, and it's just like...
whatever works for them. Some people, because usually, like, I'll type out the bit, like, in a separate, like, Word document, but then the actual joke on my phone is just a word, like MD, that's how I know massive dick. But other people, like, I know people who literally write out the entire set in their notebook. Like, word, where they need to do a word per word, And it's funny, I know a guy who did that, and he wrote it word per word, but he started off going like, hey guys, what's up tonight? How are we doing? Like, he had to write that introduction, which seems like not necessary. Seems like we can skip over the,
Insert clap here.
Like literally it was like that. I was like, well, I don't think you need to be that precise. Like, but anyway, that's just my process. Write down the word, tap it up, I have it there. Just see how it goes.
What was your first time like on stage? Did you do open mics or did you just bypass that?
Oh no, I still do. I don't know if anybody bypasses open mics unless you're already famous or something. No, I did. When I was in college, I did there was an open mic they had, and I went to it. And, I remember it going well. It was a while back. I don't really have a lot of people, like, they have the date, the time. Like, I don't know if I actually remember the exact date. I think it was like October, November or something. And I remember it went well, and then I would go there once a week for Well, that was the only thing they had like every, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday.
What club was that when you started?
wasn't even a club. It was just back. I went to college at George Mason University. It's in Northern Virginia, and the place was called Epicure Cafe. It was like a hip, like trendy cafe, and they did other events like poetry night or open mics for musicians, but comedy night was like Monday or Tuesday. It was close by campus, like 5 minutes away. So when I first started, I just did that like once a week.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoyed that. And then the next semester, I ventured to other spots to perform.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So
What did you major in?
I have a history degree. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't get into it until I was older.
Oh yeah. I
hated
mean,
it when I was younger.
oh, college or history?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I'd say both. Yeah, college too. Yeah, I don't know. I think with this degree, the idea, because it was to be a teacher or something, because then, you get off early, you can go do comedy. But then I learned, like, you're a shitty teacher if you. That's why I'm a substitute, because it's like, hey, I don't care, okay? Like, you really do have to care as a teacher. I did all these teaching classes. I wasn't doing well because it's like, oh yeah, I don't give a fuck about it. Like I'm lying to myself. Like I'm just doing this to have a job.
Oh,
but
yeah.
but that's not really how teaching works. You really have to, be passionate for helping kids. Not saying I don't want to help these kids, but I'm just saying there's a certain point where it's like I gotta do comedy. Like I don't.
After the time hits 3, I'm like, fuck these kids.
Exactly. Yeah. There's like I'm not doing any extra work here. I'm not.
Right.
So yeah, perhaps my heart. It took me a while to be like, listen, I just don't care enough about this.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, substituting is the perfect where you still have that schedule.
Like the happy
Like,
medium type of situation.
yeah, and because it's schools get out like around 3 or so you can get off work around 3:30. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
You don't have to do like the after work.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. Yeah, nothing extra. That even as a substitute, it's all online for these kids. It's kind of. I really have found a route where it's like, okay, I can make money and not have to. But then I'm not making probably as much money as I could. But it's been all right. I've been able to manage. So.
I know, like, my wife's friend, shout out to her, she does technically, you do your 40, 45, but you're doing a lot of overtime that's not paid. Like, you're doing the grading, you're probably like the tutoring, and the students reach out to you. So it's like I think she said she's about almost 60 hours a week just doing that.
They ask you to do different stuff for the school, and you're like, okay, and then you're there. Yeah, so there's extra stuff you have to do as
Out-of-pocket expenses, like for like their, like all the stuff they have to buy for their classroom. It's all out of pocket.
Man, it's so messed up.
And they got like 40, 45 kids in one class. It's just
there's a lot going. So you really do have to put some effort, and you just can't cruise through like I wanted to do. So I was like, I'll stick with substituting, and comedy's going already, so I'll just keep going this way.
Other than comedy, do you have any other hobbies?
I don't know. I read a lot.
What do you read?
I just read. I guess with having a history degree, I do read a lot of nonfiction. I guess I just I got. I just went to the library yesterday. I've been reading a lot of morbid events. I could write about. There's actually a pretty good book about Columbine out there. I learned a lot about Columbine, and I got this 9/11 book, but it's really interesting the way shit went down. Like, oh shit, dude, these guys, like, man, we should have been paying attention. like, damn. Yeah, it was like, man, yeah. There's a thing about Columbine where their classmate was one who got them the guns, and nothing happened with her. She still, I don't think she got in trouble or anything. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff you're like, wow, interesting. Yeah. So anyhow, and then there's all that like, the 9/11. It's crazy. It's crazy because the firemen, they were kind of, I don't want to say relaxed, but they're like a skyscraper. A lot of people may debate, but a skyscraper had never completely fallen. So I know a lot of people might be like, yeah, there's a reason for that, but that's why they're like, okay, we'll just take everybody out, worry about the fire later, and then it collapses. Yeah. So it's like, man, that's insane. Like Al Qaeda, like they must have been like, shit, like just like, like no one had ever done that before. It's like, wow, it's insane to think.
Just that's a whole process. Like I've done studying on my own, and it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, did it?
I haven't read those books yet, but I know there are. With that part of 9/11, it was kind of. Yeah. I'm just trying to about how it led up to that. How it's like a lot of weird coincidences and just.
I like governments or like dictators and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting. I don't like them.
Yeah, no, I read
It's interesting info.
Yeah, I read some Hitler stuff.
It's just crazy. Like even like Stalin, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, Stalin. I read a thing about Stalin. When Stalin killed you, he would go through your old pictures and erase you from the picture. It was like you never existed. It was like some like deep shit. Where it's like damn. Where it's like erase you completely.
But I mean, if you think about it, like even in like Egyptian and old historic times, they literally erased you.
Yeah.
And you just don't exist. You were a king for a long time, and then you're just bye.
The story of
But it's interesting with the Egyptians too, because like I went to the museum in Houston, and there was a mummy there that everything was still mummified. Even the way he died, there were some worms in him that killed him, and the worms were mummified inside of it. So technically, there's still worms inside of. And it was also interesting to see that there was a lot from the coffin to the wrapping and the process that they were mummified. You can tell a lot from them, like, were they rich? Were they poor? Did they steal this coffin from a different mummy? You know, that's a lot of interesting stuff that I didn't know about.
I think the most favorite thing I saw at a museum was the one in Chicago.
Oh, was that the Field Museum? Okay, there's huge. Yeah, I think it might have been because I went to Chicago this summer. We stopped by. Did it have dinosaur? Yeah, that's the Field. Yeah, we didn't even get to see the whole thing because it's so big. Yeah.
But my favorite piece that they had, it was a statue, a brass statue of an African woman, and she was like just the chest up, portion, and people had been rubbing on her breast so much that it was like golden color, like everything else was tarnished, but I guess all the little kids or whatever.
Museum.
So it was like handprints and stuff all over it.
Wow, okay. I didn't see that. I didn't go to that exhibit. I gotta go back. I just looked at the dinosaur bones. I was like checking out that.
You were from D.C. I know.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting because it's part of the Smithsonian, so they're free. So I come down here, I'm like, I didn't pay for this. What the fuck is it?
I've heard that too. It's like, how is that such a famous museum that everyone knows about free? And it's like here in Tattoo.
DC knew what they were doing. They're just like, they call it, like most. If there's a museum it's not free, I'm like, fuck that. Yeah, it's part of the whole Smithsonian system. They did that purposely.
Is it, and this might just be solid ignorance on my part, but I heard that Washington is like kind of rowdy as a city. Like like you have your rich portions, and then then you have your like.
I mean, I don't know if I don't know, rowdy, I don't know, but yeah, there's definitely different demographic. Yeah, there's definitely areas, and it's all getting gentrified also. So like, like the Nationals, Nats Park, that's like a really bougie area. But before the baseball team got there, it's like you wouldn't want to go there. But now it's like you got luxury apartments. Now it's like the place, good property to live in. But before that, it wasn't. It was really, the best part.
Kind of turning into that too, where these people were coming from out of state because the taxes, property taxes, and everything are so cheap.
Yeah.
So they're like purchasing up a lot of our territory or a lot of the land.
A lot of the south side. They've been purchasing, they're actually pushing a lot of the people who were living there out in general.
It is gentrification. Yeah. That's in DC. It happens in DC too. So you have like old DC, which was, way more, I don't know, bigger African American, I believe they called it Chocolate City.
Really?
That's like back in the day. Like that's why, like people's parents were like, be careful in D.C. because I think back in the 80s, it was like the murder capital. That's why they changed, like the basketball team. They were called, the Bullets. That's why they changed the name because they're like, this isn't a good influence. So that's how they became the Wizards. So that's really why they changed, because
And then why the Wizards?
Because we will magically change our PR.
I believe it was a contest, and I guess Wizards won or something. I don't know. I don't think any of the options were like good. It's like. Yeah, Washington's always changing teams' names, and it's always like.
At least it wasn't the Redskins.
Yeah.
That was a whole issue on its own.
I mean, I can understand why. I don't know the Native American names. Redskins was pretty like. I can see why. It's really the worst. So. We're the Commanders now. We were the Washington football team, which I thought was really cool. But then they changed it to the Commanders, and with the new ownership, word is we might change it again. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, honestly, I don't think Redskin would have been as big of a deal if they were good. I don't know. I think we're winning. I'll just be straight up, because they're still the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Like, they haven't changed their name.
Yeah.
I feel like if we were, killing it, I think maybe it would have been a little bit less, but I understand why. It was so like, it's like, but at least the Native American guy looked like a Native American guy. It wasn't. I'm saying it wasn't like the Cleveland Indians. You see that, dude? That shit was racist. That guy that's smiling, like, that shit. I was like, we definitely cannot have that.
It sounds like how my wife's high school was. Like, because she's from Washington. She grew up in Washington. She was from Texas, but she grew up over there. So her high school, that city, helped in the development of the bomb that was sent over in World War II.
Oh, did she go to Annandale?
No.
There's a high school.
Not Cleveland. It wasn't Washington. Over there near Seattle area. Over there.
Sorry, I'm thinking of DC.
Yeah, I think my bad. It was over there, Seattle area.
I'm saying there's a school in the DC area, and they're called the Adams, and because of like. It was supposed to be back in the day. It was like, the Adams. Now it's like, Because
we destroyed a bunch of people.
No, and that's what it was because they help with like the manufacturing of setting material.
Yeah.
So they were just called the bombers.
Yeah.
The bombers, and on their mural it was like the bomb, and then the bomb, and then her chant was like nuke 'em until they're dead. And dude, there was such a PR stunt afterward. They had to change everything.
Yeah.
Did you know what they changed our missions to? We have a baseball team, a minor league baseball team.
Okay.
They changed us to the chanclas.
Oh, okay. What is that?
It's a chancla is like
A slipper.
a slipper.
That Mexicans wear. It's
Because the thing with Mexicans, like Mexican moms will always hit you with the chancla. They always with the slippers.
That's cool. Wait, what was it before?
the missions.
What was wrong with the mission?
There was nothing. I feel like the chancla's worse. I think because like that's more of a racial stereotype now.
Yeah, okay.
Well, they switched it back.
They switched it.
Yeah, I can see. I don't know. Missions. I'm just thinking of missionaries or something.
The missions, yeah, here because
Yeah.
we have a lot of missions here in San Antonio. So I was like, I feel like that's fine. There's no point changing that up.
Yeah.
you gotta check out a game. They're not good. The Spurs kill it, dude. Dude, the Spurs. Dude, you guys, the Spurs are like always around. You can't, even if they just drafted that 7'2" guy. Like, yeah, dude, yeah, they're always consistent. It's always like you can't, always bet on the Spurs because they're always, they're winning shit during the Kobe stage, winning shit during with LeBron. You can't, always watch out for them. They had a good thing going.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You follow a bit of sports?
Yeah, I follow, I try to keep up with it and stuff. Yeah, I don't. During the NBA season, maybe I'm not always in tune with it, but yeah, the playoffs are cool. Even though sometimes I think they're a little bit too long. They do NBA playoffs for like 3 months, and it's like it used to be shorter. Back in the day, it wasn't as now it's like 40 days, 49. It's like I guess it's cool, but it's like the longest playoff system. How the way they add all these teams, like it really doesn't matter if you're like good. Like there's teams who are like the record's like 500. You're like an 8th seed, or it's like they're not that good either. It's like
But what's the deal with the Austin Spurs? What's that whole thing?
Yeah.
Mr. Austin,
I heard that they were trying to purchase the Spurs from San
they
Antonio.
were. Oh shit.
Yeah.
They're in the works with it.
It's not gonna fly.
Yeah.
if they steal that, you guys, I'd be pissed, man. Yeah, because that's what I think. I mean, I'm not saying it's the only thing in San Antonio, but it's like you're only they're a professional team to get. Yeah, it's a damn. Oh yeah.
Soccer's not that popular.
Yeah, I know. No, Austin has a team too. So it's I really no one watches what the U.S. Soccer League. It's all about Premier. Yeah, that's like this. That U.S. soccer is like minor league compared to Europe shit. Yeah, it's.
You heard that they were actually making a complaint about that. The soccer league is complaining that soccer should be the only title that has world champions in it. Like the NBA, you have the baseball and then hockey. Like they have we're world champions, and then it's like they want to take that away from those because you're not
technically in the world.
you're not competing against the world. Yeah.
We've all heard that before, but soccer has World Cups, so they do have talent.
that's why soccer wants to say.
So are they gonna copyright world champions, so nobody's gonna? But at least with football, like American football, not many other countries play our version anyway. So technically, And
why is it called football when you barely use your feet?
Yeah, I don't know how they got the name. Yeah, I'm like that. Yeah, I don't know.
I think they wanted to like
Compete with soccer.
with
right?
soccer because soccer is called football and everywhere else in the world besides here we call it soccer. I think they wanted like where people search up football, they kind of get that traffic That would be my guess, my conspiracy theory.
I'm pretty sure they didn't have computers back then. Though.
I don't know. Go with you, sir.
I saw you typing. I was like,
well,
they
'cause
didn't look it up that way.
well, football's
It was
not
a typewriter.
It was a typewriter.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a newer sport. It's not like how soccer was. It was like a longer sport. It had more.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, that's the conspiracy. I'll die on that hill.
Okay.
I'm just saying they had it back then.
The World Baseball Classic, which is kind of like World Cup for a bit. No one really watches it, but they have other. So they had that, and then for NBA and basketball, it's like the Olympics, you know. So I guess there are different ways for the world to compete, but it's not for American football. That's our thing. Like there's Canadian football, but even that's a little bit different than American football. So yeah, or I think like if they kick a field goal, like you can catch it in the stands or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, something like that. But
Yeah, but I've only seen a few rugby. And it's like, yo,
it's intense. Yeah. Like those guys actually get hurt. Like those injuries are like, yeah.
You keep playing.
Yeah. You lose teeth and stuff.
I've seen them where they'll get hit and their arms like hanging off. They're like, yeah, and they're like, they go right back in. Like, hell no. No.
Yeah, that's why football wears pads. Like, I don't know how good the pads are, but at least you're kind of not as hurt.
It's not that great.
Yeah, they hurt.
They still hurt.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I know it still hurts, man, being compared to rugby. Yeah.
We were nothing but a leather.
Yeah,
Back
just
in the day.
Well, yeah, you're not thing for your body. So, yeah.
Which,
That's like when they first implemented the jock strap. Like,
that one too.
yeah.
But they weren't
Yeah,
good
the
back then. They
yeah.
were so bad. I heard they like actually still cut inside. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
didn't have a good structure built into them.
They still will grab your.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's this sport. Maybe you guys know what country it is, where it's like two logs or poles, right? But each team is trying to get to the other one. They're climbing on top of people, trying to push the person who's on top of the pole off.
I want to say that's UK, if not Ireland.
So you can,
Yeah.
I don't really know.
yeah, it's like
they like climb up this
A
thing.
log?
Yeah.
a log or a pole, and there's someone there, and they're trying to knock them off, but you're like stepping or kicking everyone that they're blocking you. It's like a mosh pit.
Sounds like that show ever see Most Extreme Living. It's like, guys, that used to be the funniest shit to watch in high school. It's just like, it's basically just Asian people getting hurt. It's watching these dudes.
I remember when he came on, he's like, I suck feet.
Yeah. So, yeah, the commentary, the dub over, is always like crazy. Yeah.
I like the big boulder too.
Okay, yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. Oh, and then they had the one. It was that big person in a suit, and he would just like beat people up. They were like trying to get through doors and stuff like that.
Sometimes you get through the door, you don't know if it's like solid, you know, just running down. Yeah, dude, that show was crazy. Oh man,
No more now. Everything they have to make it more safe for everybody.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was already a fake show anyway. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it was. I'm not sure if it was an actual show they dubbed over or if it was all.
No. It was an actual show.
So it was a real show. Okay.
It was
Well.
overdubbed. That's why it was funny.
Yeah, in other countries, they have crazy game shows where it's like weird. Like,
Have you seen the Japanese ones where they play pranks?
I
showed him one and we were cracking up. It's like a steam room or a bathhouse, like on the top of a mountain.
Yeah.
And they wear,
Towel.
they're naked, if not a towel, in a bathhouse. Yeah. So they get into this chair and it's like a counter goes off. It's like deet, 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 and then the chair turns around like this, and then the door opens underneath it. The chair drops. It has skis on it. It shoots out. There's a rocket attached to the back of the chair. So the dude's naked, trying to get off of the chair. And then at the end of the run, because it's sliding down the snow, mountain, whatever, there's a ramp. So it just, kicks them off.
But it's funny because there's like other people just skiing too, like other just regular people. Yeah.
In like in Asia countries, it's like crazy. It's like they do, their TV shows are insane. It's like, man, this is. I want to go just to watch TV and go to Japan just to check out the cable. You got shit like that. You got like these anime. Sometimes these animated shows. It looks like you guys watch anime. Ever seen like Food War? Dude, that shit. My friends are talking. Dude, my friends are talking. Yeah, but that is like the women are like orgasming. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, my friends are talking about this. So like, okay, I'll check out it. And then I was like, what am I watch? I can't watch it.
Okay, I'll defend Food Wars only on one aspect. If you're gonna watch Food Wars, skip the first episode.
Okay, maybe that was it. Maybe I didn't think that was the first one. Sadie's like having an orgasm. It's like her boobs are probably. I was like, I'm folding laundry right now. I can't. I'm like, guys, like this is like every stereotype I have for a dude who watches anime that is actually just hentai. Like something like, it's like dudes watching anime. It's like, okay.
First episode, they went extremely like aggressive with it. It tends to chill out a little bit more, but it's the running gag. Like the more they love the food, the more either their clothes rips off. It's supposed to be a joke. And it's like, and it's just that imagery, and it's like. They still run with it, but that first episode was the most intense.
I'm not too much of an anime guy. I'm just the basics. I saw Dragon Ball Z. I did that shit. I went through a Pokemon phase, you know. Remember I watched Gundam Wing when I was a kid, you know. Because, Toonami used to show off that stuff, so...
They had more of the action animes and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I've seen some Cowboy Bebop, so I know, and that's pretty cool, but I don't really go deep. I know you can go deep. I heard Demon Slayer is pretty cool, but I've never seen it. I'm not too much.
My favorite.
Yeah, so I've never been a deep cut anime dude.
Attack on Titan's another one that's big. That's more of like the...
It's real political.
It's a very, maybe you like it. It does go into like history and race, racism, and then like a lot of conspiracy theories. It's a tide. It's a very, in the beginning, you're kind of like, oh, it's pretty one way.
Gory.
And gory, really like linear storyline, and then all of a sudden, just boom, all these other factors start kicking in. You're like, what's even real anymore? Politics. Yeah. So maybe you might like that.
Yeah, check it out.
I remember the first time I saw hentai. It was by accident. It's because I was no, it was. I did. Okay. But it was for my father-in-law was the head programmer at a school here. Okay. I can't say the school's name. Yeah. So he had like CD burners and DVD burners. And this was back in the day when they were like $2,000, $2,500 a piece. You know what I mean? It was like stuff that like experimental type stuff when it first came out. So what I was doing was I was burning CDs for people at school. That's how I started. So like I bought a thing of like rewritable discs and stuff and made the packaging look good and everything, right? So it transitioned from that with this app called a program called LimeWire.
We all use that, right? Yeah, we're from that generation. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't say it. My friend has a joke about LimeWire. It was like the guaranteed way to get a virus. Or you download shit and it's not what you like. Yeah. But anyway,
I would have people. I didn't even listen to the music. Like they would like back in the day. It was all about raves and stuff like that. So I was like, I just put in rave. Okay. And then I would just click whatever's the most popular. I'd burn it, and they loved it. So I'd sell them for like $8 a pop. But then it turned into like a business. Like I got home and I was just working all the time. So then the freshmen, when I got into my junior year of high school, the freshmen came in and they're like, "Hey, we heard that you got a DVD burner." I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Well, we watch anime." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. What do you watch?" And they're like, "Well, we want to see hentai." And I'm like, I thought it was
a show.
I thought it was a show. Yes.
Okay.
So all I just put was Hente, right? I didn't even spell it right. I didn't even know how to spell it. So I just like boom, 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 download, let it download, whatever. And then the market like flooded. Like they just wanted it. Yes. And so I was like, I can't even keep up with them, at this point. So I was like, you know what? Finally, what is this? You know what I mean? So I clicked it and I'm like, the fuck? And I was like, wow. I turned it off. Like, I don't think I should be watching that. You know what I mean?
What an interesting high school you were at. Hente was so fun. I mean, maybe it was at my high school, but I don't think we were out watching Hente. Yeah, dude, this guy. Yeah, like, what do you want? Yeah, whatever. Wow, interesting. Yeah, I guess. I never looked. Yeah, it's definitely weird. I think it's just like all the videos on a porn site every now and then. It's like right there.
Now they have a whole conventions that they do. Unfortunately, I had to go, and I'll say it, I had to go one because there was voice actors that they had that I wanted signatures from. But then the good thing about it that I learned when going into it, like the main section, it's kind of PG-13. It's not very graphic, maybe, a little bit, schemy outfits for the pictures and stuff. But then they do have a section, they close off completely.
Behind the beads.
Yeah, behind the beads and the curtains. And then they're like, you had to have like a wristband, everything to get in. And I was like, oh, what's that? They're like, oh, that's where they really have all the crazy stuff. I was like, okay, noted, not going in there. And then I went in there, and then I was like, I mean, at that point, I was like, I had to have the wristband. I was like, I had it. I was like, I went in, and I was just like, okay, no, like real loud.
Yeah, it's like that one, like from Friday. He's like, nope.
Yeah, I literally stepped in there, and I was just like, no. There was characters in there that I was like, I watched the normal stuff, and I was like, I can't see that anymore. Like, no, like.
They do that with like regular card. Like you can see Homer Simpson get he's like, fun. It's like, I don't really need to see Homer get lit, I already maybe what was Griffin? I don't know. I don't know. But I've never been into cartoon, Never. I mean, sure, maybe those Disney princesses, are drawn really well, but I've never been like, it's, because, that's not.
But are you have anything like booked or scheduled that's already like coming through, or you're kind of like?
I just this happened this weekend. I was at Cap City with a comic from DC, Ramin Mustafavi. That was the last big thing I did. I have a couple weeks until I go back home, for Thanksgiving. But during the weekend before Thanksgiving, I have some stuff in DC and stuff. So I'll be up there. I'm not quite sure. I don't have anything big quite yet scheduled for this area, but like things pop up. So I'm sure I'll be doing something. I just don't quite have it set in stone yet. But I got a couple weeks before I go back home. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure something. I think I have maybe one show, like, I don't know, maybe next weekend or something. But nothing too big right now. But things like when I opened for Hans, that was on Thursday. He asked me Monday. So I'm saying things come up as they approach. So maybe right now I can't say it, but again, I'm sure I'll be somewhere.
Do you have any podcasts or episodes or?
Of
course, your content.
Oh yeah, of course, all the Tony stuff is always out there. I have my own podcast I do with my friend. She's a comic from DC too. Her name is Jenny Questel. We do this. So we started the podcast because I used to watch The Bachelor, right? So it used to be a show about The Bachelor, but then we both started to hate the show. So then we just do it on movies. It's called Isn't It Romantic? So you watch a movie, could be a rom-com, could just be a regular movie. We just, just go over it and see if it's really romantic. And honestly, a lot of times we don't stay on topic, but it's cool. It's a good time. So Isn't It Romantic? Our new ep dropped today on Beetlejuice. So I don't know. Yeah, so anyway, that's a podcast I do. And it's on Apple and YouTube. It's everywhere.
We'll definitely put all his hashtags in. We'll put all his information, all his drops, whatever you can do to get to his content. It will be available under his the link below. So please check him out.
Check him out.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thanks for
man.
having me.
Yeah, we'll have your Instagram tag. We'll tag you on everything. Definitely, and of course, follow him on all social medias. Definitely as well.
Fly Marty, guys. 2 Y's.
There you go. 2 Y's. Make sure we'll spell that correctly.
Yeah, why? Because I really wanted that name. Somebody took. So I was like, extra Y, bitch. You're not Fly Marty. I'm Fly Marty, dude. That's my rap name. Fly Marty, dude. I probably should change it soon. It's probably way easier to find me if I just did my regular name in comedy. But, well, it's coming.
Hell yeah. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Right.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for having me. Good time.